Okay, welcome back, folks. It's Paul Harrison here again with a bonus segment for you off the back of the Motivation Passive Income Edu series. And what I'm going to be talking about today is how we help established businesses, authors, or experts create a passive income from what they already have. Okay, so why should all businesses, coaches, experts, and authors really build a passive income? Well, you already have a client base, people who love you, people who know, like, and trust you. And these are people who are going to be a much easier sell than people who don't know you at the moment. It also adds to client retention. So, in competitive marketplaces, client retention is a big issue. If you have more ways of being in touch with your client, you're going to have less chance of losing clients. It also increases your turnover. Obviously, if clients are paying you more money, that's a good thing for you. It develops more goodwill between you and your client, which again is an important thing, particularly in a competitive environment like we're in at the moment. It also makes your turnover more predictable and consistent. I hear this all the time with businesses, coaches particularly that I work with. It seems to be very much a sort of a feast or famine kind of approach. One week might be, or 1 month might be a great month, and then the next month you're back to sort of trying to build more, get more customers in. But if we can make the turnover more predictable and consistent, then it gives you a lot more peace of mind. And then obviously a lot of clients want closer association with you. And through the way that we do this, it becomes very powerful to be able to have give your clients a perceived closer association with you, but doesn't take a huge amount more work or time or effort from you, which is a good thing. So the how for business owners, coaches, and experts. How do you actually do this? Well, you already have clients who CLAT you, and CLAT stands for know, like, and trust. Okay. The question you've got to ask yourself is, or the question I ask people is, what current outcomes do you provide to your clients? So in the example of a personal trainer may say to me, well, Paul, what I do is I provide a healthier way of life for my clients through pushing them at the gym. Okay, that's our personal trainer example. I use that because it's quite generic and most people can relate to it. So the next thing I would say is, okay, well, what about you provide them with a complementary or supplementary product or service? Now, what could that be in the context of our personal trainer? Well, I would say that if you're a personal trainer and you're providing a healthier lifestyle for the individual, to help them, become healthier, you're pushing them in the gym, which is great. But maybe, what about you could start providing them education with regards to a healthy mindset? Say, because we know health and mindset are very, very close. Or maybe even teaching them how to cook properly, prepare food that is good for them. All of these little tricks and techniques that personal trainers know a lot about, but the vast majority of people don't. Now, of course, we're only talking about personal trainers here, and your product or service or offering would be very different, and the approach would be very different. But you get the understanding, you get the theory about this. And then what we would do is set up a monthly payment membership product. So basically, we could provide this information to them on a monthly basis, ongoing monthly basis, which of course they would pay for. And why will people actually buy from you? Well, there's peace of mind. They know you already. They like you. They trust you. They have a need that you can service. So why wouldn't they buy from you? They already know, like, and trust you. Sounds like a good option to me. It also reduces the unit cost due to a loyalty program. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's say that you wanted to you're back to being the personal trainer and you wanted to go out and start training and teach people how to cook the right meals for them. Well, what you could potentially do is have a boot camp, some kind of boot camp or a seminar where you charge, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 for the weekend. And a lot of people would be keen to do that, but maybe they couldn't afford to do it. So what you were doing is providing the same content, the same information over a longer time frame. And obviously then it will reduce the actual cost that they're having to pay on a monthly basis, which makes it much more cash flowable for them and much more appropriate for people who don't have all the money in the world. And then people also like access to closer proximity. People like to be close to you, and that's not a bad thing, because the thing is, when you can give people that perceived closer proximity, they get that peace of mind from what they're doing, and it doesn't take a huge amount more time or effort from you in order to get that offer that closer proximity or feeling closer to you as well, which is a great thing. So what about authors? Well, authors have purchased authors. You've written your book, and people have purchased your book because they're interested in the content. They bought that book because they desired an outcome from reading your book. They wanted to learn something about it. Maybe it was some recreational reading. Maybe it was the experience of reading the book that they were after. But I'm willing to bet that anybody who bought your book was looking for a particular outcome in reading your book. There was some information they wanted to get from that book. And you can deliver the same outcome-getting content, the same type of content, but in a slightly different medium. And you can provide this in a medium that relates to a lot more people. I mean, there's a lot of people who haven't had their books bought or listen or engaged with because they haven't put the book onto an audiobook. And people consume things via different mediums. And if you have people who've bought your book already because they were looking for a particular outcome, they will absolutely be open to getting that additional training or content or outcome via a different medium. This can be paid for on a monthly recurring basis, giving you a passive income, which is absolutely awesome. Your tribe has already identified themselves to you, and they'll be open to knowing more about your additional training. Remember, they bought that book for a reason. There was something that motivated them to buy it. And, if you're then able to unify and lead your tribe, it's really how great movements start. So people who follow your book, you think about somebody like Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that I'm sure a lot of people listening to this, a lot of you are familiar with. His whole movement started from a book. And now obviously he's fully utilized that power as well. And it becomes sort of, a self-fulfilling prophecy. So people would read your book and then potentially want to be involved in additional training, or people would come to you because of the additional training and then want to read your book as well. So both sides feed each other, which is absolutely fantastic. So putting it all together, a passive income to accompany your book or business will add more consistency and volume to your monthly cash flow and income. It will build a deeper connection with your audience as well, which is really what you want to have. You want to have people, you want to be able to win people's hearts and minds. If you can do that and develop your raving fans, you will never have a problem generating an income. It'll make your customers less exposed to the competition as well. So we're competitive right now, folks. But if you've got your customers absolutely locked down, the competition is going to have a real tough time trying to get them away from you, and could add tens of thousands to your bottom line every single year. Okay, so there is this option. You have a lot of the content already. You could take that approach to do it. Now, of course, the examples I've given you have just been really in the personal training realm. That was just one example. Of course, your business is slightly different, your target audience and things you could appeal to, but we can help with that. I mean, if you wanted to have a strategy session with me to discuss that, and go in and really see how viable the whole thing is and get some idea of approaching it as well. The structure and approach will be set up, or will be obviously unique to your book or your business as well. Okay, so everybody's business or everybody's approach to the market will be slightly different, because obviously you have a different business or a different book appealing to a different market audience with different triggers and things like that. So really that's good to understand. If you'd like to find out how to set up your passive income, then you can hit reply on this and request a strategy session. Or if you're watching this via social media, comment below with the word strategy session, and we will get back with you and see what is viable and what potentially could work. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that. Just to watch out for the next segment of the Edu series. This is bonus segment number 2. And this is really the story behind Mobivation. Okay, you'll know obviously Mobivation, a passive income incubator. We have multiple niches. You've probably heard the name before. But really how the whole Mobivation concept started, all of the drama along the way. You won't believe some of the stories here. Absolutely mind-blowing. Obviously the impact it's making and where we're going with Mobivation. Now, the next segment will be sent to you in the next few days, or if you can watch it now, it should just be below this video on the email you received as well. And as ever, if you have questions, comments, or feedback, hit reply, or you can reach me on paul@mobivation.com. And I look forward to our paths crossing in the not too distant future. So until then, folks, take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.